We're going to talk about our story today, Otis. Okay, you ready to hear what's going on with Harry and Meghan? You ready to hear? I know, I'm ready to hear. And I want to thank today's sponsor, June's Journey, for sponsoring today's video. The late Queen Elizabeth had to go through. We're finding out now because of Omid's book. We're getting ready to look into what is actually happening. Let's get into it. Here's what's happening. When the late queen was still alive, she was reigning, she was doing all she could to support her family and to have her reign go as smoothly as it could while she was still alive on this earth. She was going through something that most people that don't have Black friends, or you don't really associate with Black people, you do things that seem like you're being helpful, or you want to do something because you don't know much about it. You need that expert person to come in and to support something you don't know much about. And that's exactly what the queen did, the late queen did. She did something, but what Meghan and Omid have done, because we know Meghan is behind this book in a very big way. Meghan is behind this book. Meghan is behind the things that happened with Omid's book, Endgame, because now they're saying that Meghan is going to follow up on these racist royals in her book that she's going to be writing, which is going to be another video that I'm going to do. But the fact that Omid put this story in the book, it shows the ignorance of Meghan. It shows even more the deception behind what she was doing to the late queen, and how she was really in to just make bad experiences for the royals. I mean, she just wanted to go full in ghetto. Okay? I'm real talk, folks, real talk. So Omid, he dragged the late queen into a royal racism. He says that Meghan felt insulted after being offered a Black equerry. Now, I'm an American. I don't know what an equerry is. So let me just real quickly look that.
Equerry.
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 Equerry. An officer of the British royal household who attends or assists members of the royal family. He became equerry to the Duke of Kent, an officer of the household of a prince or noble who had charge over stables. Okay, so they say what an equerry does is an officer of the royal household acts as a personal assistant to a member of the royal family. Okay, so that's what this is. This person is that the late queen gave to assist Miss Meghan Markle. Okay. I just look at what the queen had to go through, and I just feel like, Queen, it's a shame. And you know, I just look at people who work so hard, do their best, and then they get some woman that comes in and just wants to run havoc. For what? For what? What's the meaning? Why? Okay. She was offended because the queen had offered her a Black equerry. Okay, so Mr. Scobie suggests that the palace aides made the move in order to make Meghan feel comfortable. By the Duchess of Sussex was left feeling insulted by this appointment. Now, why do you imagine she was, felt insulted? Why? Why? You know what? I've got a wonderful sponsor today who has agreed to sponsor this video that I'm doing today. I am someone that is very picky about the things I choose to let you know about. One of the things that I've most recently been doing is playing this game called June's Journey. I really love the feel of this game. You get to decorate this mansion and find these missing clues. It draws you into the mystery, and with the music, with the graphics, the feel of finding all these different items, then getting clues, and then going on to the next scene and watching the dialogue as you uncover more and more. It takes you into all these really neat discoveries of this story. I really did enjoy this game. So if you would like to try June's Journey, go ahead and click the link in the description below, and you can also get a free hammock to use to decorate the mansion with. You can use this app on iOS and on Android. You can also play this game on a PC through Facebook. Thank you, June's Journey, for sponsoring this video. Now back to our story. Why do you imagine she was insulted? Well, in his book Endgame, he suggests that assigning Ghana-born Lieutenant Colonel to help Meghan, it stood out like a sore thumb. He writes, when palace aides told reporters, including myself, we're assuming Mr. Scooby-Doo here, that they bent over backwards to make Meghan feel comfortable at Buckingham Palace. So this included a follow-up suggestion that perhaps the Queen's Ghanaian-born household cavalry officer, Lieutenant Colonel Nana Kofi Tuuzmazi Ankra, should be the one to help Meghan. Okay, so they saw this black guy from Ghana. They were like, oh, okay, you got the job. You're black. You got the job. Okay? Though a charming and intelligent man, it stood out like a sore thumb to Meghan and her friends. So we're assuming her friends are not black. Of course, because it stood out like a sore thumb to Meghan and her friends. Okay? Because if she had some black friends, it would not have stood out like a sore thumb. It would have been, oh, okay, hey, what's up? You gonna be my equerry? Come on, let's get this going. If she really had good intentions. But because she was trying to find missteps all the way, she was like, oh, really, Queen, you gonna try to make this my equerry? And then she had to create problems. This was very intentional, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. Okay, so Lieutenant Colonel Nana Kofi Tuuzmazi Ankra, Queen Elizabeth's former equerry and Britain's first black equerry, was appointed to his role in 2017, the same year that Harry and Meghan got engaged. So this was not a coincidence. It was like, okay, we're going to hire you. You black. You're going to help this black woman coming into my family. Okay, no, this was somebody that coincidentally came into the royal household at the same time. And perhaps maybe even if it were because Meghan was coming into the royal household, they were motivated to get more black people in leadership positions to support and help. Now, Mr. Scobie notes that the offering a lieutenant colonel to assist Meghan was likely due to a lack of black or non-white staff that were in leadership positions. I want to just give you a little basic history around, how I see this in terms of there being a black man coming in to help in a leadership position. And all you know is what you know from your history. You do the best you can with what you know. Sometimes children have issues with how they were raised from very loving parents. But, give your parents a break. They did the best that they could with what they knew. Okay? No one's going to just give your parents a hard time, for whatever reason, if they didn't know any better. But the love and concern was always still there. They just didn't know better. And so that's how I like to look at this situation where all the history within the royal households, we see a plethora of just white people everywhere. An occasional black Princess Charlotte or Queen Charlotte, from, back married to King George. We don't have a lot of the cultural diversity within this royal household, but we're in a new day and age, and hey, Harry, he found someone of color. He wants to marry her. She was approved, and suddenly let's start to change and shake things up a little bit. Hey, you equerry, black man from Ghana, you got the job. Whether it was because Meghan came into the family or not, the fact is that they were willing to make changes, and this man was brought in a leadership position from Ghana, like real black people from the mother country. So this is one of those things that is very admirable. You're doing something that speaks volumes But Meghan wanted to be the victim. So she had to use that one thing that she saw stuck out like a sore thumb to make problems. Because she was looking for problems from the beginning. She wanted there to be problems. Because the problems made her a victim. It helped her narrative to have an excuse to eventually want to leave. Because before being within the royal household and, having people look at her as a woman of color, she didn't think nothing of it because she thought she was just going to waltz in there and, I'm white. So how can she, be somebody that could be a victim as a white woman? She couldn't. So I think they're wanting to make that an issue just doesn't fly because the fact that they're there is saying something actually good. The idea that she thought that this would be an insult shows you that she wanted to make problems for the queen. Because any black person that would get another fellow black person to be their mentor is a welcome. It's a big thank you for finding me somebody that perhaps maybe I could try to connect with, considering they're from, a culture, a black culture. Perhaps maybe I could find my roots from where did she say she was from? Nigeria. So the idea that she would even say she's from or has heritage from Nigeria and then turn down someone from Ghana to be her mentor shows you she was never wanting to get support in an authentic way. She wanted to make problems for the queen. She did this with intention. And to me, it's an insult to even say you don't want a black man to be your equerry, only because you think something might be wrong with him being seen with you. Like, she doesn't even want to be seen with a black man, let alone only dating white men. She doesn't even want to be seen in the presence of a black mentor. This is a woman that is the most racist that I have seen, because you cannot tell me that this would be an insult to you, having someone of color be your mentor. How is that something that is a bad thing? I don't see how that's a bad thing. Meghan is the racist here. Meghan is the one that doesn't want to be around black people. That's right. I said it. Even her mama is black, but she only wants to be around her mother. I guess her mother is the exception to the rule. Otherwise, she don't want to be around black people unless they got millions and millions of dollars. Oprah, Serena. But if you, poor black, okay, you know what? You're not privileged enough to be my friend, but I can help you to make it look like I like you. Specifically, Meghan is a very racist woman, in my opinion, because to be insulted by this equerry as your mentor shows that you don't even want to be seen in the presence of a black man. She did not come to be within this royal family and to make it work. She came from a place of, I'm going to create havoc for you, royal family. Deal with it.